I am Midtimbang Afra. So in this video report, I will discuss the topic of price floors, including their purpose, how they work, and the effect they have on people. So the first is what price floors are.
So, price floors. A price floor is the lowest price that one can legally pay for some goods or service. So, it ensures that producer and workers receive a fair income, and it's often called a price support. So, a price floor is the lowest price that the government allows for a product or service. So, it is meant to make sure that workers, farmers, and the seller earn enough money to live. So, price floors are also called price support because they help keep the price from falling too low. So, for instance, the government set the minimum wage at 610 per day. So, this shows that workers cannot be paid too little and can have money for their needs. So, another example is a farmer cannot sell rice below 20 pesos per kilo. So, this shows that sellers have to follow the rules and get fair payment for their product. So now, let us proceed to the purpose of price floors. Price floors prevent large swing in income and support fair wage. They help producers earn a stable income and ensure workers can afford basic living costs, reducing sudden economic shocks. So, meaning, price floors are made to protect workers and producers. They help people earn stable income so they can buy basic needs like food, school supply, and the electricity. Price floors are stop sudden drops in price that can hurt the economy. So for instance, when vegetable prices drop too low, the government set a minimum price. So this shows that farmers are protected from losing money and can continue producing food. So another example is the government raises the minimum wage when price raise. So this shows that workers can still afford their daily needs even when living costs go up. So now, let us proceed to the how price support work. So the government sometimes enter the market to buy products, increasing demand and keeping price above a certain level. So this ensures producers get a fair income and stabilize crucial market. So sometimes too many products are made and people cannot buy all of them. So to keep prices from falling, the government buys or store the extra product. So this helps producers get a fair income and keeps important market like food stable. So for instance, the government buys extra rice from farmers. So this shows the government help farmers earn enough money for their family. So another example is the extra corn is stored in a warehouse. So this shows the government controls the extra supply and prevents price from dropping too low.
So now, here are the unintended effects of price floor. So the number one is the surplus. The number two is inefficient allocation. The number three is reduced consumer surplus. So the number four is produced surplus. The number five is the minimum wage. The number six is the quality improvements. So the number seven is the government intervention in agriculture. So the number 8 is potential for monopoly pricing. So the last one is the informal economy.
So now, let us proceed to the surplus. A surplus happens when there are more products than people want to buy. So this happens if the price is too high. So surplus can make product go to waste if they are not sold on time. So, for instance, many apples are left in the market because they are too expensive. So, this shows that high prices can create extra product that nobody's buy. So, another example is a factory makes too many shoes, but only a few are brought. So, this shows that surplus happen when demand is low. So now, let us proceed to the inefficient allocation. Inefficient allocation happen when products do not reach the people who need them most. High prices make goods available mostly to rich people, leaving others without access. So, for instance, a poor families cannot buy rice because it is too expensive. So this shows that not everyone cannot buy food they need. So another example is the student cannot buy school books because the prices are too high. So this shows that important items are not available to everyone. So now, let us proceed to reduce consumer surplus. So when prices are high, consumers are forced to spend more money than they plan to. So because of this, they have less money left for the other needs like transportation, school, saving, or emergency. So people may also be forced to buy less than what they need. So this situation is called reduced consumer surplus, which means consumers do not enjoy the full value of their money because most of it goes to expensive product. So for instance, you are ready to pay 50 pesos for a burger, but the price is only 30. So this means you save 20 pesos, so you feel happy and it feels worth it. But when a price floor is set, the price becomes 45 pesos. So now you only save 5 pesos. So this means the price become higher, so your extra benefit, which is the consumer surplus, becomes smaller. So another example is you are willing to pay 100 pesos for a t-shirt, but before you could buy it for only 60 pesos. That give you an extra value of 40 pesos. So later, a price floor is added and the price become 90 pesos. So now your extra value is only 10 pesos. So this means the higher price reduces the consumer surplus of the buyer. So now, let us proceed to the producer surplus. So because of high price, producer and seller earn more money than usual. So this extra income is called producer surplus. So at the first, this seems good for the business because they make more profit. However, it can also cause them to produce too much. So thinking they will sell everything at a high price when not all of the products are sold. So this leads to a surplus and sometimes even waste. So for instance, a farmer spent 20 pesos to grow 1 kilo of tomatoes. So he is okay to sell it for 20 pesos because that pay for the seeds, water, and his work. But in the market, people are willing to pay 30 pesos for the tomatoes. So when he sell them for 30 pesos, he earned 15 pesos extra money. So that extra money is called producer surplus. So this shows that the farmers earn more than what he spent to grow the tomatoes. So another example is a kid spend 10 pesos to buy sugar and lemon and make a glass of lemonade. So he would be okay to selling it for 10 pesos because that is his spend. But he sell each glass for 25 pesos during a hot day. So this means he earned 15 pesos extra money for every glass. So that extra money is called producer surplus. So this shows that seller get extra profit when people pay more than what it costs to make the product. So now, let us proceed to the minimum wage. So minimum wage is a practice floor in the labor market. It ensures fair pay, but can reduce employment if business cannot afford to hire as many workers at the higher wage. So meaning, the minimum wage is a type of price floors for labor. So it is the lowest amount of money that the workers must be paid for their work. So this helps protect workers from being underpaid. So however, when the minimum wage is high, some businesses may not be able to afford many workers. So to save money, they may hire few people or use machine instead. So this shows that while minimum wage protect workers, it can also affect job opportunities. So for instance, a small shop used to have 2 workers, but when the minimum wage is increased, the owner could no longer afford to pay both of them. So the only 1 worker was kept. So this shows that sometimes few workers are hired when wages are high. Another example is the before, when workers did the job in a factory,
But when the minimum wage is increased, the companies start use machine to save the money. So because of this, some workers lose their job. So now let us proceed to the quality improvement. So high price can push producer to improve the quality of their product. So since people are paying more, producers feel that they must offer better goods, so customer will stay by for them. So they must use better materials like cleaner packaging or safer methods. So however, some producers are not honest. They increase the price but do not really improve the quality. So this can be unfair to customer. So for instance, a rice seller increased the price of the rice, but he makes sure the quality was better. So the rice is cleaner and more carefully packaged. So this shows that when the price is high, the quality is often better too. So another example is some seller increase the price but do not improve the quality. So the product stays the same but becomes more expensive. So this shows that not all sellers are fair and honest. So let's proceed to the government intervention in agriculture. So this means the governments help farmers by setting a minimum price for their crops. So when there is too much supply, the government may buy or store the extra product so the prices do not fall too low. So this protects farmers' income, but it can also cost the government a lot of money. So for instance, during harvest season, rice price go down because many farmers sell at the same time. So to prevent very low price, the government buy rice directly from the farmers at the fair rate. So this helps farmers earn enough money and protect them from selling their rice too cheaply. So another example is when there is too much corn, the price starts to fall quickly. So to help, the government store the extra corn in the large warehouse so the market price stays stable. So this prevents farmers from losing income and support their livelihood for the next season. So now, let us proceed to the potential for monopoly pricing. So this means some big companies can control the market when a price floor is set. So since no one can sell below the fixed price, this company may raise their price even more to earn more profit. So this can be unfair to customers. So for instance, a very large rice companies control most of the rice in the market because the price floors prevent seller from selling cheaply. So small seller cannot compete. So the big company then raises the price even higher because people have no other choice. So this shows how one company can control prices when competition is weak. So another example is in one neighborhood, only one water refilling station sells clean drinking water in gallon. So since there is no other place to buy, the owner raises the price very high. So even if it's expensive, people still buy it because they need water every day. So this shows how prices can get very high when there is monopoly. So and the last is informal economy. So this means when the official price is too high, some seller and workers avoid the rules and operate secretly for lower price. So this creates an informal or illegal market that the government cannot easily control. So for instance, a vendor secretly sells rice at a price lower than the legal price because many customers cannot afford the official price. So the vendor hides this from the authorities to avoid getting in trouble. So this shows that high legal price can push people to sell illegally. So another example of this is some workers accept jobs where they are paid below the minimum wage. So they do this because they need money and cannot find a formal job that follow the rules. So this shows that when wages are too high for the employers to afford, people move to informal economy to survive.